We all had at least one of these as kids. The Game Boy was synonymous with most of our childhoods. Unless you had a DS or 3DS, which meant you were privileged and had a fun time growing up, which I did, but I did start out with a Game Boy Advance, which is a story for another video. As for those who did play with Game Boys, we know that most of the versions suffered from a common problem: no backlight. Now here in America it was first used for the SP, but in Japan they happened to get it early with a special version. It's the Game Boy Light. There must be something that Nintendo doesn't like about the US to postpone the gift of light until the SP. Sure, there were peripherals for the other systems, but they were only half-ass. The Game Boy Light was released on April 14th, 1998 for Japan only. It came in gold and silver, and I so happened to have the gold version in the box in meh condition, to say the least. But since I can't read much on the box, all I can say about it is the design is cool, so we're gonna forget the box and have a look at the system itself. Ignoring manuals and ads, we have the handheld that never saw the light of day in the United States. And these light puns have to stop. Now, the Game Boy Light is a very nice looking system, very sleek in design and fits very nicely into the palm of anybody's hand. It has very smooth buttons and D-pad and has everything just exactly where you think it would. It's another Game Boy. Can't say much when design is the same. But wait, I misspoke, there is more. As in its namesake, you can now have the power of light grace your Game Boy whenever you're in the dark. And now instead of just off and on, you have off, on, and light. Marty McFly said it right. All the best stuff is made in Japan. But in this case, it stayed there. When compared to its two predecessors, the original and the Pocket, the Light is smaller than the original yet slightly taller than the Pocket. They all share much of the same design, but the true difference comes in the form of battery life. The original Game Boy could last 30 plus hours with 4 AA's, and the Game Boy Pocket took 2 AA's and lasted a good 10 hours. Now with the Game Boy Light, it takes 2 AA's, but it varies from 20 hours with the light off and 12 with the light on. With all that in mind, there is a clear choice in the Light, because you don't care how long it lasts, you just want to play it in the dark and under your covers before your parent comes in and takes it away. For games, it plays all Japanese and American Game Boy games. To my surprise, there wasn't any region lockout on mine. I'm not exactly positive if that is true for all of them, but best bet that is the case. So if you're able to find a GBL, because those are the initials of course, somewhere around your area at a reasonable price, you should definitely pick it up so you can experience the first power of light and have the full Game Boy lineup, which wouldn't be complete without it. It's the Game Boy Light. Now there are some things that are kept away from other parts of the world, but there are also other things that are massively republished under different names, which is why on the next episode we're looking at the Atari 2600 that was only ever sold at Sears. If you think I missed anything, please leave a comment. If you like what you see, leave a like. If you think others could get knowledge out of this, share this video. And if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. Now if you'll excuse me, nostalgia is calling.